Hello again, you're watching Today here on eNCA on this Friday afternoon. Let's take you back to the northwest now, to Rustenburg, where the ANC is planning to hold its second leg of its elective conference. They held a few weeks ago. They managed to choose the top 5 provincial executives, but they need to elect the rest of that committee. But there are problems. Moloko Moloto is watching that story for us today. Just a short while ago, he spoke to one of the ANC officials, confident, Moloko, that the conference will go ahead. I understand now you've got another member of the ANC, but this time from its national executive, Obed Bapela.
Very true, Braden. In fact, as we spoke to the provincial secretary of the ANC, he's saying it's all systems go. They are proceeding with the continuation of this conference that was postponed 2 weeks back. But there are issues, Braden. The disgruntled members who lost yesterday's High Court challenge, the urgent application there where they sought to actually stop the continuation of this Congress, they are now threatening to go to the Constitutional Court. Of course, the ANC is saying they have not been formally served. But let us speak to the man who is leading the National Executive Committee deployees to this province, Mr. Obed Bapela. Sir, thank you so much. The complaints really are more along the credibility of the Congress itself. Those who wrote the petition are saying that actually the credentials report, why was it adopted when some of the delegates were still registering?
Well, at the time of the adoption of the credentials, all delegates were already recorded as having arrived. What had happened is that there were 40 tags that were still outstanding because they had disrupted the service, and then these people were just going to collect them the following day, and it was 40 as part of the credentials. We have adopted with those people that were still waiting for accreditations here. So it's not true, therefore, that the credentials have been twisted this way or the other way. 701 voting delegates and only 650 and above that had arrived and then participated in the conference, meaning therefore that those who were there then finally got their text and they were able to be in, and those who did not feature in the conference at all due to other family commitments did not come, but maybe this time around all of them will be here, and we'll see tomorrow when the branches will be arriving from 7 o'clock in the morning here at Olympia to come and collect their accreditations. They'll be submitting the old one and getting a new accreditation.
So is it your view, therefore, that the process went smoothly? But if that is the case, why do you think this ANC members, some of them senior, including the convener of the ANC Women's League in the province, but also the convener of the ANC at one region, if these two senior people or leaders in the ANC are complaining, why do you think, therefore, they have gone to that extent of even writing to Luthuli House to intervene and actually set aside this conference?
Well, there's no provincial conference that has ever said, you can look at all of them, there will always be complainants. The matters get addressed and attended to, sometimes to their satisfactories and sometimes not. And then others opted to go to courts and then they failed, and then as is the case here. There's no 100% foolproof, but we are quite certain that 90% of the conference preparations and its credentials is correct, and then therefore will be proceeding. Yes, there is a petition. It has been submitted to the officials of the ANC. They have looked at it. They have assigned it to the Acting Secretary General, Paul Mashatile, to then begin to process the matters with us who are deployees here to respond to some of the issues, but also those people have been told, therefore, that the matters are being given some attention by the office.
Sorry for interrupting, we're running out of time. Would you rather not postpone this conference and attend to those issues so that should you find irregularities, you don't run a process where you would have legitimized a wrong conference?
Well, I don't think the irregularities are so much over the 10% error of margin that we always put in every accounting system, and also in the ANC systems is there. There will always be those errors of margins. Those were done deliberately somewhere, and others that might have been a human error. We'll then begin to look at whether it changes the outcome or not. And if it doesn't change, obviously, everything will proceed. But should it change the outcome, obviously, that team, the SG, will then be setting up from the NEC members, those who are not involved directly with the conference, with us giving corresponding evidence, and then whatever other issues raised, then it will then determine what will be the outcome, but the conference must go on.
All right, Mr. Obed Bapela, thank you so much for your time. Well, the ANC is saying it is proceeding with the continuation of the conference tomorrow. This, of course, will depend on whether those who are approaching the Constitutional Court do not succeed. Praden?
Thank you very much, Moloko Moloto there. Another update, the latest from Northwest, as the ANC is getting up for the second leg of its provincial elective conference this weekend.